Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy. I am so excited to bring you this card today. This is one of those 3 a.m. idea cards, and I actually made it work, so I'm just thrilled to bits. It's a angle fold easel front card. So for all of you who think, oh, I can't do fun folds, they're too complicated, I don't even want to attempt, this is so easy. It's just that little bit of interest. There's still room on the inside to write a greeting. And then it just stands up like that. It's just that little bit different, makes people go, oh, that's neat, instead of just a regular opening card. So what do I need to make this card? I need the mask from the set, and it's just the background mask. That's all I need. I wanted to use the masks again because I haven't really used them a lot. I need a standard card base. I'm losing my pieces here. So I need my standard card base, and I haven't scored this one, so I'll need to do that to fold it. Well, the basic white you don't really even need to score. You need a card front, and this is in Coastal Cabana, and it's 5.5 by 4.25. It is going to cover the whole front of the card, and I'll show you why in a minute. You're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper, one for the inside and then one for the card front. And I've used the Lovely Garden designer series paper, and I love the black and white ones because then you can color them however you want. You're going to need a piece. You can make this piece any size you want. This is the piece that goes on the front. Mine just happens to be 4 by 2 7/8. You could make it whatever size you want. That just happened to be a spare size that I had. And then you're going to need the piece for the greeting. And I measured this based on having this stand up and having the greeting flush with that edge, not kind of at a different angle. So this is, it's 1 3/4 wide. It's 1 7/8 tall here and 7/8 tall here. So all I did is I took a rectangle that was 1 3/4 wide, and I marked 1 7/8, and I marked 7/8, and I did a really faint pencil line, and then I trimmed just this side of the pencil line. So that's my card front, or that's my greeting piece. This is my card front piece, and let's just get this folded. And the basic white is really the only one that you don't have to score to get a nice crisp fold without creases in it. I usually score mine. That one wasn't scored, but that's okay. So let's just move all of this off to the side for now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my fresh freesia and my blending brush, and I'm going to blend. Now, I'm not, with this one, I'm not worried about ink because this ink pad is not juicy. In fact, I really have to kind of press on the paper to get any kind of coverage with this one. Probably just needs to be re-inked. But this one is not juicy, so I don't have to kind of rub off the page first. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit more color to this side. Okay, so I've got my color added there. I'm not going to worry too much about the middle because I'm going to be using my Coastal Cabana on that one. So I've got Balmy Blue now, and I'm going to come in, and the Balmy Blue is just that little bit juicier. So I'm just going to come in and add just a little bit of color. Now with the blending brushes, if you do your middle piece and you think, oh, you know, the other detail isn't dark enough, come in and add. It's not one and done. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp with basic gray. I'm going to stamp my flower. And I'm stamping my flower first so that it's easier to line up the mask. I'm just going to stamp this down. There we go. You'll notice on this one, I did the mask first because I was kind of thinking on the fly. And when I stamped, I didn't stamp it exactly. So that's why I'm doing the stamping first. Okay, so let's do our greeting while we're here. And I've got the With Love. And I'm just going to stamp that down, kind of up here a little bit. And I love how this is kind of angled as well. It fits in just beautifully. And I'm going to add the "and thanks" at the bottom, like that. And okay, I messed that up a little bit. It's hard to do this when I'm under the camera instead of like looking right over top of it. So I just added that little leaf in as well. The With Love and Thanks, it's not a really big deal if it doesn't line up. And I chose to do this one in the basic gray because I thought that this was just a little bit, it was a little bit light, it was a little bit plain. So I am going to take my Coastal Cabana and I'm just going to brush just lightly around the edge just to bring that color in, make it just stand up a little bit away from the background. So we're just going to do that. So that's done. Okay, and I'm going to bring in the piece that I'm going to put on the inside of the card. And I'm just going to add just a little bit of color. I'm not going really heavy with the color. I just want to add just a little bit of interest against that white card base on the inside. So like I say, just adding just a little bit of color, not a lot, just a little bit of interest. Okay, and now I'm going to bring in my mask. Okay, so this is my card front piece. Let's put the ink over there. Make sure that I am still in frame for you all. Okay. And we're just going to line that mask up like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to add color. And again, I'm going to come in lightly and just add a little bit of color. And then I'm going to see what it kind of looks like. I love how subtle that is, but I might add just a little bit more color. Just a smidge, just maybe a little bit. Just darken that up a little bit, maybe a little bit more in the center there. There we go. Okay, so it's got a little bit more definition now. I've done everything I need with that. Okay, let's just put that off to the side. Let's put the mask away to clean later. Now, one of the reasons that I've got a 5.5 by 4.25 card front, I've added in the cardstock. This was my kind of sample idea where I was playing with what I was doing. And when you pop this up, you've got border here, and nothing here. And you can also see the back of the designer series paper. And I thought, well, if the image ends up upside down on the back or something, it's going to look funny. So that's why I put the same size as the card front cardstock on this. So we're just going to pop this down. I am so excited about an idea that I had in my head that actually worked out. Because there's an awful lot of the ideas I have in my head at 3 o'clock in the morning that end up in the bin because I just can't make them work. Okay, and this is going to pop down on here. You can tell this one I've done a lot more blending. It's a lot more colorful, but I really kind of like how subtle this one is. So we're just going to add this. I'm not dimensionalizing it. I'm not doing anything. It's flat mounted. You could absolutely dimensionalize this. You could actually put another piece of the Coastal Cabana around it if you wanted to and just make it pop. But I really just wanted the subtlety of the color to kind of, I wanted the focus to be on the flower and the subtlety of color there. But actually putting it on a bordered background would be great. Every time I do these cards, I come up with something else. So this one started here, we went to here, and now I'm here. So what you need to know now is how to make the angle front. And what you need to do is you need to go from the upper left. Let me write that down. We're going from the upper left to the lower right is how we're doing that. We're going to score upper left to lower right. So let me bring my cutter back in again. And I'm going to make sure I'm in frame for you with this. So upper left to lower right. And I'm going to make sure that that point is absolutely in the middle of the trough. And I'm going to, this score line here, it's not very defined because I didn't actually score it. I want it just a little bit outside the trough, just so I don't get a lot of kind of bulk on the corner there. And I'm just going to score that. And again, I did not start at the pointy corner because we don't want to smudge that corner. And then we're going to fold this up onto itself. I'm going to take the bone folder to it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to attach our inside piece. Like that. Ooh, all of my adhesive is getting low. Okay, so we're just going to pop that down like that. So we're good like that. And now I'm going to put adhesive on the front, the bottom triangle. The reason I'm doing this is so I can be sure that when I put this on, If I put adhesive here, I might end up with more adhesive here, and I want this to be free to open. So it's actually gonna go on like this, but I'm putting it this way because this is where the adhesive is, and I want to line this up perfectly. So we're just gonna line that up, press it down like that. And that's how that's going to open up. And I just need now to put my greeting in, and I probably covered up my greeting. I know it was here. You know what? It's probably on the bottom of my, yep. It's on the bottom of my cutter. If you ever lose anything and you've had your cutter on the table, look in the bottom of your cutter. I lost a die for a week on the bottom of my cutter. So, and let's just do this, and we'll put this in. And again, thrilled to bits that this idea worked. I'm going to pop that down in the bottom corner there. And then when we fold this up, it's going to sit like that. And I'm just going to add some of the 2024 to 2026 in color gems. And I'm going to pick that up, pop one down like that. One over here like this. And then one down here like that. And the more I look at this, the more I think doing that coastal cabana, little border around there, would be absolutely fabulous. So if you wanted to do that, you would just need to do it 4 1/4 by 3 1/8. Just add a 1/4 inch, and then you'll get the nice border all the way around the outside. So I might actually do that, and I'll take a picture of it to show. And that's what the thumbnail picture will be, and then you can see the difference. So those are the cards. Lots of super duper awesome effect with very little work. It's super, super simple. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.